Hey 80s toy fans, welcome back to the channel. Memo here, thank you for joining me. Today we're taking a look at the Mastermind Creations Perfection Series, PS-12A Saltus. This is their alternatively painted version of Masterpiece Springer. I gotta admit, I wasn't thinking I would enjoy this figure as much as I do, but I gotta admit I love him. It's an amazing bot, and I sure am glad that I picked him up. All that being said, let's dive in. Now, as an accessory, as you typically get, he does come with the decoder for his stats, if you can see that, which is always a nice touch. It's a throwback to the 80s toys, which I do really love. As far as other items in the package, you do get a nice instruction booklet. Folds out. Moving parts are done in red. Does a really good job of getting you from one point to the other. He also comes with the collector's card, just done in a cardboard stock. Nice product shots on the back with some artwork on the front. He comes with the rocket from the movie, the I've got better things to do tonight than die scene, which it's okay. It's done in gray plastic with the yellow being painted on. For what it is, it's detailed enough, gets the point across, and it's nice that they included it. He does come with his blaster, which is nicely sculpted in gray plastic. Detail on this is actually pretty awesome. It's hollow on the end, so potential for use of blast effects. And it does unfold for use in robot mode and in stored mode in vehicle. He does come with his sword. Painted silver on the blade. It's got a little bit of detail there. Hilt and handle done in gray plastic. As you can see, it uses the standard peg and port method for holding. And this does transform into his blades, which we'll show in transformation. He does come with his spear, which is a nice addition. The handle is made of metal. No real gripping points, so it's not gonna fasten into his hands, but that's okay. You got your 3-pronged blade here, which looks really nice, and the way it works, you just simply plug it into the handle, and then you have the center blade, which can also be used as a dagger if you like, but it's intended to go on the spear, and it is very tight, but just simply slide it on and adjust as you see fit. And it looks really good. It's very long, but it's nice again that they included it. He does come with 2 alternative heads. This is actually the head that comes installed. I changed it out for the more stern looking face, but they're all nicely done. Painted face with the light green metallic blue eyes, yellow accents, and then green plastic. It does require that you take it apart to install it, but they do look amazing. Even some detail here on the forehead, if you can see it. And here's the 3rd head sculpt that comes. I believe this is comic book version. I'm not sure if it's IDW or not. If you know, let me know in the comments, please. But it is also painted very nicely. And then he does come with these 2 clips, which are used to hold the weapons in alt mode. So we'll cover that shortly. So here we have Saltus in his car mode. And I have to admit, this is probably the mode that suffers the most out of all 3. It isn't entirely, well, it's not cartoon accurate really at all, except for the colors. We'll put a cartoon picture up right here, just so you can see the differences. Much wider in the back. But it still looks good. It's interesting. It's unique as far as the design. So I think it looks fairly decent. We'll take a closer look. You have the painted grille, yellow on the fenders, and the headlights, if you choose to do so, can come up with orange underneath. You can do that on both sides. It is somewhat of a chore to get it to stay on. Once you've got it though, it's not coming off as far as the fenders. You do have some robot bits on the side of the car. Nice silver painted wheels. The tires are rubber all the way around. Nicely detailed here on the rear quarter. You do have the boosters from helicopter mode still visible. Coming around the back, looks like a little rocket engine. Lots of Kibley bits though. Same on this side. View from the top. Coloration is accurate, but as far as sculpting, not really at all. And then there's the view from the bottom. It is solid. It's like a brick. But it's interesting enough. It's not as cartoon accurate as I would like, but it works. And it does roll just fine. As far as weapon storage, there's actually a few different ways you can do it. In vehicle mode, you can actually store the gun in this port right here on either side. So you can have that look if you want. Or you can utilize this clip that they include. It just actually slides into this port on the gun. And then this piece will go into this peg hole right here. It's actually contoured to fit. So you can do that as well. With the sword, you have to utilize this clip, which fastens easy enough along the blade. Like so. And then you actually have two options. You can put the blade in this peg hole on this side, which is what I prefer. Or you can put it here in these pegs. Which is easier said than done. There we go. So you can have it like a lance jutting out the front. It's your choice, but it's nice that you have options. For comparison, here he is with Masterpiece Smokescreen and Masterpiece Sideswipe. So let's get him transformed into helicopter mode. Start by unhooking this rear section from the legs. Bring that up and actually just slide this whole section forward. Utilize the ab crunch. Unpeg the legs from the hips and bring these down on both sides. Unpeg this section from the leg. Swing it around once. Bring it out straight. Pivot it out. This will pivot down. Rotate this piece down around until you see this hole lining up with that peg. Bring it down and attach. And do that on both sides. Once you have that sorted, go ahead and bring your legs down, twisting at the knee. You want to spin the fins out to the bottom. Make your leg connection. all the way down. Reconnect your ab crunch. Unfold this section, rotate it 180 degrees. Leave this extended out, but you want to fold this down to where these pegs connect to that top of the roof. And then fold this back, not all the way. You'll now want to slide this section back, connecting these prongs to those ports. And this piece will just rest up here. Unpeg the top of the fenders from car mode. Leave them up for now. At this point, the arm most likely would have dislodged itself from this position. Go ahead and bring this down and extend the blade out to form underneath. Bring your arm around 180 degrees, and this peg will go into that port. And then this section of the under part of the wing will fasten onto the arm, like so. Bring this section forward, tilt your wheels in, and then bring it back down. The elbow, bring this portion down to make it 90 degrees. Bring your fenders back down, making the connection there. Here, you'll want to angle it to line up with the contours of the gray blade. And this is probably the hardest part, just lining these up. You've got pegs here, here, and here. So work with it until you have all three connected, and you'll know once you do. And then you can bring your blade back up to the contours of the helicopter. Do the same thing on the other side. Once you've got those attached on the sides, just a few minor things now. Go ahead and rotate the wheels down. They'll secure in rather nicely. And the last step is to transform your sword. So go ahead and separate, bring them down. And that will attach right where you think it would. So here we have Saltus in helicopter mode. And I think he looks pretty good. We'll put a cartoon image up right here. So you can tell he's a little back heavy. Doesn't like to sit down perfectly flat. But of the two alt modes, I think that this definitely looks more cartoon accurate than the car mode. But got all the same colors coming through. Beautiful green hood. Nicely detailed along the legs, or along the tail, I should say. There's the view from the back. View from the top. I think it looks really good. These are a little bit loose. I did put some kikis on, and it did help quite a bit just to keep them in place. But overall, I think this is a tremendous helicopter mode. And the blades are definitely well balanced. They spin fairly decently. As far as gimmicks in helicopter mode, you still have the working canopy. And also, the gun can still mount on the side of the fuselage. So here again is a comparison with smokescreen. So transformation into robot mode. Let's get started. Go ahead and remove your blades. Undo your ab crunch. Go ahead and separate the legs. Undo your transformation on the tailpiece. Bring the legs down. Extend your foot and heel. Unpeg all locations here, including this section. Fold up helicopter blades. And bring this around the side of the arm like so. Do that on both sides. Make sure the section's all the way down. Bring the seat of the canopy out. Rotate the chest forward. Bring this back. Now inside the chest, you'll probably want a spudger for this. Pop these sections out and unfold to create his sides. Bring this down, and that hole will connect here on his chest. Once you have the sides out, bring this section down, and these pegs will connect to the holes right there, just like that. And then bring this section all the way up. Be careful because the hands can get bound up with the fingers, but save this step for last. And here we have MMC Saltus. Let's take a look at him. We got the same paint on the face, blue eyes, but a more stern face. This is the one that I prefer on him, really. Coming out of the chest, you got some nice detail. So let's take a look at MMC Saltus. And I gotta admit, I really do like this guy. I mean, he's not perfect, but he looks amazing nonetheless. Here is the third head. More stern face. This is the one I'll definitely be going with. You've got green on the shoulders. Nice vibrant green paint. Yellow paint and black paint on the chest. Green plastic on the arms. A little bit of paint right here, but not much. Coming on the waist, this is the main difference. I think this color is different than the original version. I think the original version had some more of a lime green appearance on the legs. Nice black, nice detail here on the legs. They look really good, even on the inside. Coming out of the feet. Backpack cleans up fairly well. Does hang out a little bit, but still looks good. As far as articulation, head can look very far up, and thanks to the joint here, very far down. Full 360 if you want to. No side to side though. Shoulders can go more than 90. You do have a butterfly as well. You got upper bicep rotation. Double jointed knee for more than 90 degrees. Hands can swivel, and fingers. These three are individually articulated, but they don't have any knuckles, whereas the index finger is fully posable. as well as the thumb being on a ball. You have the ability to move it around with no additional joint, but hands can rotate. No in and out though. You do have a nice ab crunch as well as waist rotation. The hip skirts can move up out of the way. Nice ratcheted forward and back. Very tight. Do have a thigh rotation. Ratcheted out to the side. Nice double jointed knee. And the feet can tilt, and you do have up and down on the front and the back. So as far as articulation and sculpt, he is an amazing looking figure. One additional gimmick that he has on both arms, he does have his fold out mini blaster on his forearms, which is a very nice touch. As you can see, done in blue, looks fantastic. Now he doesn't have any pegs to hold it, but he can do a very nice throwing pose with the spear. And once again, using the peg and port method, he will hold both the sword and blaster just fine. And with the help of the additional clips, you do have the ability to store the weapons on his back. For comparison, here he is with the MMC RC and the official hot rod. Alright, so let's talk about the figure. I gotta admit, he's not perfect, but he definitely hits that itch that I was wanting in my Springer. I do love the paint, the sculpt, and the overall look. Negatives wise, wish you would have had a little more articulation in the fingers, and maybe a little bit more paint on the shoulders and legs, but overall, that's just minor. It's just me being nitpicky. He definitely has that movie feel, and yeah, I'm really glad that I went with him over the Fans toys, to be honest. He's nice and heavy, lots of die cast, especially in the legs, and his whole chest is die cast, which is nice. Gives a nice quality feel to it. They've done a superb job, and I do highly recommend him. I purchased mine from thechosenprime.com. I do know that they have these in stock, and so is Toy Dojo as well. So give them a look. You won't be disappointed. All that being said, if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to share with your friends. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time.